you think that it creates confusion, or it's wrong, or it basically just needs to stop? The men who will talk about single baby mamas and put them down and say that you don't have no hope, and then go sleep with them or kick it with them, spend time with
No,
them.
saying you don't
Because
have
they're
no
spending
hope.
money on them too.
Saying you don't have no hope is saying that the men that you want, see, you taking it out of context. The men that the single mothers think that they deserve the same type of men as the women that don't have any children at all.
But they're getting piped down
But
by
you
the
just
same
said that
type of
those
No, no,
men.
men
no.
are the
Listen,
ones
listen,
who
listen.
will mess with them.
Listen.
You
It's
said,
not that they're not guys. I say that I would never tell a guy to go and take care of another man's child. That is my standard. I would never tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. Okay? That's number one. Two things can be true at the same time. It does not mean that there are not men that will talk to a woman with children. The problem and why we say that you're going to be by yourself for the rest of your life is that the guy that actually is willing to take care of your child and be with you, most of them don't want that guy. They don't want the guy that wants them. That's what we coming back to that whole previous conversation. They don't want him. They want the nigga that's just gonna fuck on them. You see what I'm saying? So you can't absolve them and say, "Oh man, it's wrong," because they're making a conscious decision. They know what's going on. They know what the fuck is gonna happen. But for whatever reason, they holding out hope. They putting that nigga on the back burner, even though he willing to love their draws off and take care of his fucking kids because he's a nice guy, but he's not this motherfucker over here. And they're holding out hope because they want that guy. That's what
well,
we're saying. You don't have to be by yourself, but you're going to choose to be by yourself because you don't want him. You want him. And
Because he's still sleeping with her.
this motherfucker over here, he's toxic.
Y'all can't keep
Yeah.
absolving women though, man. Y'all can't keep doing
no,
that.
That is
No,
nobody's
it's
absolving
not.
women.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
make
you are.
sense of the
No,
No, you are.
situation.
I'm not
You're
I'm
absolving
telling you
women.
absolving
that.
them.
I don't know
I'm just
how any more real I
You're
can be with
absolving
you.
them. You
How
can't
are we
keep
That is
saying,
what's
but he keeps
real.
sleeping with her.
absolving women from what?
How many
Of what?
times have we
Okay,
seen
so did you
women
hear
come
Monty
on these
say? But he keeps
shows
sleeping with
and
her. You
say,
can't do
listen,
that though. You
how many
cannot do
times
that.
have we seen these women come on these platforms, come on these apps, come on these shows and say, listen, this is what I want. They don't
Okay,
say I
but
want a
before
good
you do
guy
that,
that's going to be faithful, that's going to hold me down. They say, I want this nigga over here. That's the cream of the crop, and I'm raising my standards for him. That's what they say.
yeah.
So how can you absolve them because they opening up their legs to a person that they know is going to be there for a short time, not a long time, a good time, not a long time.
Okay, but no, okay, no one is absolving them, but
Yes.
considering no, the
No.
example that y'all just walked us into gave the impression, and maybe I'm wrong, you gave the impression that men with no kids actually would prefer to kick it with a woman with kids until he's ready to choose his forever woman.
Not what
And
I
Nobody
said.
I
said
said,
that.
Not what I
I'm
said.
Nobody said
I
that.
didn't I
She said I gave the impression. I heard what she said. Go
That
ahead.
was the impression that you gave because you said that a woman who has no kids, a man knows that at some point he's going to have to make a decision. So it's easier for him to kick it with a woman
Not that
who has
simple,
a
Carrie.
I'm you just told me I'm overcomplicating stuff. I'm trying to keep it simplified.
No. So, like for example, a guy that is very productive with no children, often in
You're
time.
good, Anton.
No, no, no.
You're
Think
good.
about it. Think about it. A guy
You're
that is
good.
productive without
You're
no
following
children,
circles.
or even if he has children and the woman is still wants him because she don't have children, he doesn't have the capacity a lot of times. He's not going to make the time to be able to nurture that type of relationship because he's busy. He's working on
Got
his
it.
craft. He's continuing to win and all of this other type of stuff. And she doesn't want to just fit neatly in that world a lot of times, right? And she don't want
I
to meet that expectation. And so it's easier for him to have situationships. Not that that's what he's looking for, but that's just what life throws him. It's easier for him to have situationships than it is for him to have a full-blown relationship because it's much more difficult to deal with a woman that don't want to fit neatly into his life.
I get you, and I follow that. And what I also asked was, do you believe that these men are really in other words, keeping it real with the woman that he's just having situationships with. And you said I don't think all of them, but let's say some. So some men, maybe they're honest, they're upfront, they let the girl know what it is. That means that there are some men who don't. So for some women who have kids, they might not be picking the dude who's treating her like a side piece over the guy who's willing to, be with her and her kids. She might really think this guy is liking her. She's rolling how he
He
wants her to
does like her.
roll. She's not putting any pressure on him. They have a
He
good
does like
time.
her. He does like her.
So to me, that's misleading. So
It's
when
not.
Slimmy's
It
like
does two things can
when
be true.
Slimmy's
He can
okay,
like her, but it doesn't mean that he likes her situation.
but if he's not being honest about that the situation will always keep him at this level with her. If he's not telling her that,
Oh my
then
God.
why are you
Slimmy,
saying, "Oh, your God, Slimmy"? Every guy
You
is not
keep
gonna be.
you keep bringing
What?
up if he's not being
Slimmy,
honest. We already
But
said most dudes are gonna be honest.
no, he didn't say most. He said some. He didn't
No,
say
I'm
most.
telling
He
Does
you,
it
said
really?
some.
I'm telling you, most guys are being
Does
honest.
it really matter if he's honest or not? Because
Most guys are
let's be
being
real.
honest. Women don't want to accept the honesty.
That's true.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
Slimmy,
That's why I said you
Slimmy.
can't keep
Most
observing
guys.
women.
Watch
It's
this.
That's
Watch
dudes,
not.
this, Slimmy. Watch
You
this, Slimmy.
know.
it's
Watch
dudes
this,
out here.
Slimmy.
It's
Watch this,
dudes out
Slimmy.
here that
Watch
will
this,
tell
Slimmy.
you, hey, I got a roster.
How are
I got
most
a
Yeah,
guys
watch
roster.
being
this. Watch this.
honest
Watch
when
this,
if
Slimmy.
we have a
Listen,
conversation about cheating, y'all will say, guys, I wish y'all would just be honest with women
Slimmy,
because
Slimmy,
nine
Slimmy,
times out of
Slimmy.
10, they would accept what you're doing
Watch
anyway if you
this,
would
Slimmy.
just be honest. So
Watch this,
so
Slimmy.
in
Watch this,
those
Slimmy.
examples, most guys are not being honest, but now you're telling me most
Carrie,
guys are
let me
being
ask you a
honest.
question. Carrie, let
most
me ask
guys
you a
are
question.
always
Let
being
me ask you a
honest.
question, Carrie. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
A 40-year-old, 40, 42, a guy between 40 and 45, right?
Okay.
Incredibly successful. Pockets is fat, doing really well in life and
Hmm.
business, but he's single. Is that a red flag?
No, not necessarily. Mm-mm.
It's not
I
a
mean,
red flag for a guy to
it's
be
it,
40 years
it's
old and not to be tied down, to be on top of his game, to be getting to it, have any option that he want, but hasn't executed on it yet. You run into him, you don't look
I
at that
mean,
as
you
a
gonna
problematic situation.
ask why you're not taken for sure.
So
But
that's a red flag.
okay, all right. That's a okay.
What? Okay. So why is
I'm
that a
not
red
gonna.
flag?
I'm not gonna say that's a red flag.
I'm only yielding to the red flag because I'm gonna use the red flag as that creates a pause. Like why? But to me, it doesn't
Are
necessarily
you going
mean
to
it's a red
proceed in
flag.
that situation with caution?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna proceed not thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna proceed with caution and not like assume that I'm all his everything. And
But you're
yeah,
you're proceeding with caution, but you know that you still like him, right?
hmm
Come
How
on,
was it
man.
any different than dealing with a woman that you really like, the motherfucking munchkins? Motherfucking munchkins.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying,
What?
but I still okay. I see what you're saying.
I just think men should stop
I
talking
see
about
what you're
it.
saying, but why?
Why can't I
My man
love
gotta
you?
stop
No, no,
talking
no, no,
about
no.
it.
Why can't I
He
love
brought
you
it
for
up.
the
That girl brought
why
it up.
can't why can't I
It's
love
not
you?
What?
stopping nothing.
Why can't I truly love you? And I love you. I love you. I really do love you. Why can't I love you for the time that I'm with you?
Okay,
Why can't you love a woman without kids?
Her too.
Who says he don't?
will he keep
That
going on like that? Or is this when okay, so when you say that a guy is like that and let's say he's like that and I have kids, so he's kicking it with me. Is it temporary or is it this is as far we'll go, but we can go this way for the long haul?
No, it's permanent for the moment.
this
It's
is why
permanent.
women are so
I
chaotic
can't
because
It's
stand
permanent for that for the so you don't
men
like
hate
that?
single moms, but they love single
It's
moms.
it's permanent for the moment.
So is this proving that lady's point that men are only mad because the single moms have children by men that aren't
Men
them?
aren't mad. She
No, why
lied.
are we
I mean,
She's
is
mad?
this
projecting. More single moms are mad than
because
anything.
y'all love single moms though?
How
No, we
And
would
if
love
you
to
the
have
not
only
advise
issue
a
is
single
because
men.
she has
mom?
Men,
another man's
listen,
kid, then
listen,
y'all are kind
Molly.
of proving her right.
No, Molly, nobody's proving
This
her
ain't
right. She's
fair.
dead ass wrong. She's 1,000% wrong because she's projecting her feelings onto men. No men are mad because they deal with single moms. Who would be mad? Who
So
would be
would you
mad?
advise? So you would advise a single mom? Okay, so listen, if a single man with no kids ever shows interest, pursues you, let it be. Don't touch it unless you want to be the side dish. Don't touch it.
I don't have nothing to do with coaching no
Stay
women.
free.
What I'm
Slimmy,
gonna
come
coach
on.
a
If you
woman. What
would
I'm gonna
you
coach.
where he go?
He frozen.
Bro,
He got a phone call. I guarantee you he got a phone call.
From a single woman.
look at God because he was gonna say some foolishness. Stop.
But no, I mean, Carrie, I don't understand.
Okay, I have a
Why
question for
you
you,
can't why you
Anton. Let
can't
me ask you this
just
question real quick.
okay,
Because you said you was like, I would not advise anybody to be somebody's stepdaddy. Like I wouldn't have you do anything I wouldn't do.
correct.
But would you well not advise if a dude told you that he wanted to kick it with a girl who had a kid, would you be like, nah dog, don't touch it? Or would you be like, touch it, but no, it's permanently temporary? Would you say permanently temporary for now?
It's permanent for the moment.
What would you say to him?
I think that he's making a mistake because a lot of times guys don't have the discipline to not want to not allow themselves to go further. Sometimes guys fall in love too, and that's the dangerous part. If you don't definitively, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know yourself well enough to say, this is where my stopping point is, and no matter what, I'm not going to cross this threshold. Then you in uncharted waters. You in shark infested waters. You're gonna find yourself fucked up
Okay.
because then you're gonna start overlooking shit that you normally wouldn't compromise on.
Okay. So at least you wouldn't support them playing in the waters.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of guys fall victim to that. That's when they start becoming stepfathers. Because then they start overlooking shit. Oh, you know what? He just need a little guidance. You know what I'm saying? He start doing all of that type of shit.
Okay. Slimmy, was that somebody calling for advice? A
No,
single
the
baby
phone
mama
overheated
calling
and
for
died. Shit got too hot.
But what I don't understand, Carrie, is why we can't just be why we just can't focus on the now. Why is everything a long-term conversation? Why we just can't be in love for right here, right now?
See, this is what I was gonna
Because
say
I don't think a lot of
That's
women
before I
are
got
looking
kicked
for
off.
that.
Hmm?
women are
What I
looking
would
for a
suggest,
forever guy.
all I
No,
suggest women do.
this is we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm forever right here, right with you right now.
No, the phone died.
See, and that's a part of what that's a part of what will get them. That's
No,
just
seriously,
enough.
we don't
That's just
listen.
enough for her
We
to
don't
hang
know
on.
what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody, but I'm with you forever now.
Cause you saying that to her, she's thinking he's saying that like he could die tomorrow. But you saying it like I could totally just drop you tomorrow and walk away and be done.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm picking you up right now. I'm everything that you need right now. I'm everything for you right now.
And then what?
And I love you.
Today you love me.
No, I just love you. I don't know what happens tomorrow. All I know is I love you.
Is this a part of the toxic stuff? Mika, is
Yes,
this the
yes,
toxicity?
yes. I was waiting for you to ask that. Yes, that's what it is. Yes, yes. And look, yes.